There is just something magical about being out on the water in northern Michigan, and then when you're done being on the water, heading over to your favorite area golf course and teeing it up on some of the most beautiful courses in America. Today, straight ahead, we're taking you on a tour of one of the most popular vacation destinations anywhere, Traverse City, for a look at golf, life, food, and fun straight ahead.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, shining the spotlight on the best places to play, stay, and celebrate the greatest game on earth. Stay connected to Michigan Golf Live 24/7 on Facebook, X, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. And subscribe for free to our weekly FORE Golfers Network podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are found.
Hello friends, Bill Hobson here. Welcome into the show. We are so glad to have you along with us because the crew and I have set sail for one of America's most popular vacation destinations. It is a hotbed of golf and life and food and fun, and it's a place that seemingly everybody in America wants to visit. So over the course of the next 30 minutes, we'll showcase much of the golf, much of the fun, much of the life, but here's a little spoiler alert. You're going to need to come here to experience all of it for yourself. Let's get things underway as we explore Traverse City. Up first, our first featured golf destination, the AGaMing Golf Resort. The draw, the appeal, the allure of AGaMing Golf Resort is best summed up how?
You know, our setting, I think, really stands out. Just as you drive into the entrance and then you kind of make your way and you start to see Torch Lake, just always blue, just covering a lot of our property, having views of it throughout our property. We got super lucky, a 400-acre piece property with 2 courses on it, lots of views of the lake, the rolling hills, a lot of expansive views. I just think the way we've been able to kind of slowly but surely improve every year over the last 25 years is our setting just is very welcoming, very comfortable, and extremely beautiful.
And here you are with this 4-course offering, this menu that takes you all the way to Charlevoix and then back down here to the main resort. What's it been like as you continued adding to the family?
As soon as we had the 3 locations and the 4 courses, it really opened up a lot of flexibility and opportunities for our guests. Golfers love variety. They just love to see different terrain. They love to see different shots. So we are super lucky to have 4 courses that offer a different challenge and also just a different setting of their own beauty at that location. So
you really can't do much better than this view. So let me have you turn your attention to the Torch course for a minute and just talk to us about what makes this a special experience.
Yeah, the Torch course is very special, very northern Michigan, a lot of hills, the views. A lot of times people come up here and they say, oh, this is my favorite course. And they just remember back in the 80s, 70s, 90s when they used to play it. Chick Harbert was part of it. He was an old Ryder Cup captain. And so there was a lot of nostalgia that goes with it. Winding
your way through this course, you're really in the trees. The northern Michigan experience is defined, I think, by what happens on the Torch course.
I think we have water on 13 or 14 holes, trees on every hole. So we've made it a lot more friendly over the years, softened it up some. You know, back in the day in the 70s when they built golf courses, it's 2 tee boxes and very tight and very challenging.
Can you compare and contrast the Torch with the Sundance? They're very different experiences.
They are, and that's what makes the golf packages so unique because, you know, the average golf package guys are up here 3 nights, 4 rounds of golf, and they're getting totally different style of golf. You go from a links style to a northern Michigan style. Sundance is very playable, built in 2005 by Michigan guy Jerry Matthews, and great golf course. Just people will come off that golf course and they'll say, that was the best round I shot all year. And you know, and when you shoot a good score, you're pretty happy and you want to come back.
There's something about Sundance in the sunset, you know, at dusk or late afternoon.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The shadows of the lighting, it's just really special.
Yeah, I mean, I'll walk out of here at nighttime, closing up, and you know, in the summertime, the sun could still be up at 9:30, 9 o'clock, and you look at the angles as you're going past Sundance, and Sundance is pretty special. I put it in the top 3 in all northern Michigan.
The AGaMing experience is not complete until you've teed it up where the magic is, at Antrim Dell. So what's the magic?
It's just the whole course, the feel of it. It's peaceful, it's quiet, no road traffic. It's a classic golf course. It's aged very well. Not a lot of forced carries, as you know. Everybody can play the course. We've got 4 sets of tees, and it's just a really good course to learn on, to grow on, and to try to play all the time.
We found that it helps to be in the right place on the greens because they can have some challenge to them.
Yeah, our greens are challenging. That's one of the beauty of it, because people play here their whole lives and they still shake their head on sometimes. Like when we check people in, we say, hey, everything breaks towards the lake over there, except 8 and 9 goes back towards the road, and 18 goes however it wants. So it's, you still shake your head, but they roll so good, can't blame us.
I don't think your trip to Antrim Dells is complete unless you sit down for lunch or dinner in that beautiful restaurant. So what's the dining experience like?
Well, we serve lunch 7 days a week to take care of our guests. We do dinners on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. Fresh whitefish, fresh walleye, prime rib, perch, ribs.
The AGaMing Resort as a whole, the 4 courses, the different lodging options at the main resort. What is this entity like as a destination?
Well, it's Torch Lake, Elk Lake, Lake Michigan. It's a destination, always has been for vacation, literally for over 100 years. But the golf, we offer different styles of golf at different courses. We've got good accommodations for everybody. And like I've said before to you, it really is a family atmosphere. I've been very blessed to be part of the AGaMing family.
Part of our exploration of the Traverse City area takes us off the golf course and into a more cultured side of life. And for the first time in my lifetime, I'm actually in what's called a cheese cave. Just part of the experience here at a remarkable place called Leelanau Cheese.
Our cheese in particular is unique in our aging process. We will actually wash the cheese. Over the course of 4 to 5 months, we wash the cheese at least every other day in a brine solution. So we're flipping the cheese, washing it, and also moving it throughout the cave. It's very labor intensive to make the cheese that we make, but ultimately it makes a delicious cheese. We've won countless domestic and international awards for our cheese, so it really stands out and it's really unique. Now, Bill, you've just been making nonstop cut the cheese jokes
Sorry.
this entire time, so we're actually going to have you cut some cheese for us.
All right, now while I'm cutting the cheese, what are we looking at over here?
Yeah, so we have some flavored raclettes here. So this is a green peppercorn raclette and then a black truffle raclette. We also have a rosemary raclette, and it looks like you're cutting into just a traditional wheel of raclette there. So.
I have to tell you, this has been fascinating. Thank you for the tour, for the insight, for allowing me to make some really bad cutting the cheese jokes, and for introducing us to your passion.
Yeah, thank you.
Leelanau Cheese friends, we have to take a break. When we come back, we head back to the golf course as we continue our time in Traverse City. Welcome back into the show as we continue our tour of golf, life, food, and fun in the Traverse City, Michigan region. Our next featured destination brings us to Thompsonville, where you will find the amazing Crystal Mountain Resort. The ideal combination of great golf and fun for your entire family. 36 holes here, and more options than that for the kind of fun you can have. Now, I'm kind of waiting in line for my chance at the lily pads, but we won't waste any more time here by the beautiful pool. Instead, let's showcase a bit of the golf they have available for your group, and then we'll dig into some of the fun available for your entire family.
I mean, the overall golf vibe here at Crystal Mountain is one of family, friends, and fun, because we have it all here. We have the family atmosphere, we have the buddies trips, we get the girls trips. It's just an all-around great atmosphere here at Crystal Mountain with 2 amazing golf courses that suit any golfer's game. And it's just a perfect destination for people coming from Chicago, Detroit. We get a lot of people from Indianapolis. It's just a great place to come and meet and hang out with friends and family and enjoy our beautiful resort.
And one of the things I most enjoy about the golf side of things is the differences between the 2 courses. Betsy and Mountain are very different experiences. They're both really good, but you won't be bored if you're just making the loop around 36. You'll have quite a variety.
The variety is definitely there because the Betsy Valley while it's shorter than the mountain ridge, in my opinion, it plays harder because the greens and the fairways are much tighter. And if you hit one offline on the Betsy Valley, in a lot of areas, it's not going to come back. Where the mountain ridge, you can spray the ball a little bit more, but at the same time, you've got to be a little bit longer off the tee, and otherwise you're going to be hitting some long irons or even fairway woods into some of those greens, which the greens are the tricky part on both courses, where you just got to watch out because there are some subtle breaks here and there, generally breaking towards the water or away from the mountain. Mountain Ridge is definitely a scenic tour around the Crystal Mountain property. A lot of elevation changes, a lot of tree-lined fairways that you don't see as much on the Betsy Valley since the renovation and that. You can spray it a little bit offline and still get away with it because it seems that the trees are a little more friendly out here, as they'll throw some errant tee shots back into the fairway for you. But the challenge is on the greens. The greens they're a little subtle breaks that are tricky to see. You got to watch out for where the mountain is because they generally break away from the mountain. But at the same time, the greens are generally a little bit faster than the Betsy, and they're a little bit bigger. So 3-putts come into play a little bit more here if you're not in the right quadrant.
And there's a bit more length on Mountain Ridge, right?
And there is definitely a lot more length to it. So Mountain Ridge plays almost 500 yards longer than the Betsy Valley. So
I don't know of another resort with more to do off the golf course anywhere in the Midwest than here at Crystal Mountain.
That's right. People come for the golf and then they come back for all of the activities and often bring more people with them. We're that perfect base camp, so you can do all those activities on site, but there's also plenty to explore nearby as well.
It seems like there might be as many options for where you stay at Crystal as there are things to do. So for somebody who's not been here, how do you figure out where you want to stay?
It depends on what you're looking for and who you're coming with, because if you're coming solo, you could stay in one of our standard hotel suites, or if you're bringing a big group, you could stay at one of our mountaintop resort homes, or if you want to be just steps away from the pro shop, stay in one of our 2-bedroom condos at the top of Kinlocken.
This golf experience at Crystal is one of just the treats in northern Michigan. You've been a part of this for so long. Can you kind of put a blanket summary on what it's like to play and learn here at Crystal Mountain?
The atmosphere here at the range is so peaceful, and we try to make it a great place to learn with our facility that we have. And it's hard to describe, but the beauty of northern Michigan is in all its splendor right here and right now. And then being able to get out on the golf course with those students so that they can see the mountain in the background while we're up there. They see the ski hill, they see the lift, they see all of the resort is actually in view on many, many holes. And I don't know how else to explain it. It's just beautiful up north atmosphere.
Now, when you're not on the golf course in Traverse City and it's time for lunch or dinner, we know you're looking for great food, that's a given, but you're also looking for kind of a cool vibe and some really good views, and it's hard to do much better than the views from here at H&L Social on top of the Hotel Indigo. Rob Bruning is the general manager of this beautiful place. So what's the vibe of H&L Social?
You know, the vibe is, depending on what day of the week it is, I think the midweek vibe is just kind of cool and casual, fun. And then the weekend gets a little bit more fun, dance, kind of almost a club-like atmosphere at the top after 8 o'clock at night. So just a really casual, fun vibe. Nowhere else in the city has this view and this roof deck overlooking West Grand Traverse Bay.
There is something special about this kind of a view looking out, but there's also something quite special about the menu here. So hit some of the highlights for us, and what are people enjoying when they come up to H&L?
Yeah, so it's definitely a farm-to-table menu. We use a lot of local purveyors, Michigan purveyors, hamburgers, flatbreads, steaks, seafood. Some of our more popular items, the smash burger, an incredible burger. It is smashed between 2 pieces of grilled cheese bread, incredible flavor. We've got a short rib that's incredible. We've got a seafood pasta that's really good too. Just something for everyone here.
Well, now you know what we're talking about. Incredible views and where all the fun is happening up here on the rooftop One of the best views in all of Traverse City. We'll take a break. When we come back on the other side, we continue our tour of golf, life, food, and fun. We'll head back to the golf course after this in Traverse City. Welcome back into the show as we continue our showcase of golf and life and food and fun in Traverse City. Now, I would have no trouble talking about all of the nuances of golf for hours upon hours, but I know absolutely nothing about the world of wine. Earlier in the show, we introduced you to Leelanau Cheese and what goes better with cheese than the right wine. If only I had a wine expert at my disposal to help make sense out of all of this. Well, here's one now. It's Jessica Gagel at Left Foot Charley's inside the Villages at Grand Traverse Commons. There's a wall full of wine behind you, right? Yes. So the barrels do exist.
Yes.
What makes for a great wine?
Oh, balance is the number one thing that makes for a great wine. You want the right balance of acidity and sugar, of fruit and oak. With these barrels, we have some of our red wines aging in this space, which is an old root cellar from the late 19th century. And these wines are getting that right balance of oak, which is giving you a little bit of different texture and a little bit of softness that's going to balance out with the strong flavors that you get from a red wine.
Aging, peace and quiet, a cool setting. All of these things are in this barrel room at Left Foot Charley's. This is kind of a unique facility you have.
It is. We're part of the old state hospital, a former mental institution here in the village. And our main winery is in the laundry facility, but this space is an old root cellar that housed many of the fruits and vegetables that were eaten by the folks that were living and working here in the asylum. And now we're using it for the same purposes with our fruit aging here in our wine barrels in a quiet, cool, comfortable space for anywhere from 9 to 18 months.
Well, thank you for the tour and for the insight.
Of course, thank you for coming, Bill.
We will round out our golf time in Traverse City by heading over just across town to the beautiful Grand Traverse Resort and Spa. Our fast-paced tour of golf and life and food and fun in Traverse City brings us to one final iconic golf destination, and that is the unmistakable Grand Traverse Resort and Spa, where you will find the Bear, the Wolverine, Spruce Run, and so much more. You'll also find Tom McGee, along with a great team here. So in the Grand Traverse City experience of golf, how does GTR fit into all of that?
Certainly one of the major players. We are so blessed with great golf courses up here, with over at Crystal Mountain and AGaMing. But what we have at the resort is certainly special. Nobody else has a Jack Nicklaus golf course. Gary Player's only golf course designed in the state of Michigan, and then William Newcomb's designed Spruce Run. So it's a great complement to what Traverse City has, and we really fill out the package of what we want to offer to our guests.
You see guests coming here from all over the world. Can you give us just a brief primer on each of the three courses and their unique characteristics? What sets each one in its own category?
Sure. Now, Spruce Run is the oldest golf course. It opened up in 1979. It's more typical northern Michigan, where it has the tree-lined fairways, a lot of trouble behind the greens, not necessarily in front of the greens. The green complexes are very challenging, but again, more typical northern Michigan, accurate off the tee is necessary. Then we'll go to the Wolverine. That opened up in 1999, Gary Player's only golf course. That one's the most friendly. It's the easiest of the three, but it can have a lot of bite to it as well. So you just want to play the right set of tees out there, but that's the most popular of the three that we have because it is more friendly. And then to finish things up with the Bear, the great challenge, Golf Digest 18th most difficult golf course in the country, Jack Nicklaus design. It's got everything you want and a little bit more.
How different is the Bear today than when it first opened from a challenge standpoint and really a playability standpoint?
Yeah, we cut the rough back, first and foremost. That was a big thing. So we used to have, back when I started here, we had 6-hour rounds all the time because people would just miss the fairway, they're in the tall grass, they can't find their golf ball. If they find it, they can barely advance it. So that's the first thing that we did, is cut the rough back. And then we added some sets of tees to make it more enjoyable. We have some combo tees out there. But the challenge is still there. The green complexes are still the same. The deep pot bunkers surrounding the greens are still there. The water problems, water hazards, everything's still the same as far as that goes. It's just more friendly and generous off the tee.
As a guy who has lived in this region for a long, long time, how special is summertime in Traverse City?
Can't beat it. There's so much to do. Golf should be on everybody's top of the list, but there's so many other things to do in Traverse City. That's great. The beaches, the wineries, the downtown area. I mean, you name it, there's something to do here in Traverse City. The outdoor recreation, it's just beautiful. The fresh air. We just love the visitors coming up.
You have a lot of people using the resort as their home base during an extended vacation and then kind of branching out to explore the area, right? So not a bad way to call home for a couple of weeks.
Absolutely, and we have the accommodations that can help out with that, with rooms in our tower, rooms in our hotel. We've got condominiums scattered throughout the property, anywhere from studio up to 3-bedroom condos and houses. So we've got the accommodations, and this is just a good place to call home base and then go out from there.
Have you ever lost a golf ball in any of these courses, or are you pretty much setting course records every time you go out?
I probably lost a golf ball on every hole out here, so that's 54 minimum.
I cannot think of a much better way to wind down a day in Traverse City where you've been on the golf course making a lot of birdies, maybe a few bogeys, and having a great time. And now you just want to kick back, relax, and soak in the scenery of a beautiful northern Michigan sunset. Discovery Sunset Cruises. Jennifer, this is the way to go. So introduce us to this boat and this experience.
Okay, so this is the Discovery. She was built in 1974, but went through a huge makeover in 2020. And we offer all different types of booze cruises with music like we have tonight, or in the afternoons we have narrated historical tours, but we just travel a real slow rate around the southern part of West Grand Traverse Bay.
Such a beautiful setting. You cannot beat a sunset in northern Michigan, and especially in the summertime, even if it's a little bit chillier than it might be during the middle of the day. You're seeing guests come onto this boat, I would think, from all over the country.
We are, and from other countries, out of the country as well. But Traverse City is just a huge draw for people from all over. And every day we've got people from every state on the boat. And our tagline is, it's always sunny on the Discovery, because weather in northern Michigan comes and goes throughout one day. You can see all different kinds of seasons.
What is it about this experience that drew you to it? Because this is your life.
This is my life. You know, I've always loved being on the water, and I love hospitality. I love meeting people and entertaining people. And I feel like every time I open the doors to the boat, I'm welcoming people onto a party, and we can accommodate up to almost 150 people. So we have all different types of private charters in addition to our public events too.
Such a perfect setting. What a great way to wind down your time or get your time started in Traverse City. Thanks so much.
Thanks for being here.
We've been talking for the last several minutes about the golf life and fun experience at Traverse City. How do you put a bow tie on all of that? How special is this destination?
Well, you know, a lot of people come here for a variety of reasons, not just golf. Golf is maybe the bow tie, if you will. You know, that's the additive thing that we have. But I mean, you can see the water in the backdrop. It's a beautiful spot. People just want to be here. You know, I talk to a lot of people all across the United States, and if they've found this place, they like to call it home. There's something about it. You get here and you just feel comfortable, you relax. We continue to develop this region in a thoughtful way. You know, we haven't killed the view shed. You can get out on either peninsula and you can still see the water and the orchards and, you know, the foliage. A lot of people love to come here in the fall. This is really cool to live in a state that has 4 seasons. So to be able to see the blossoms, experience a nice temperate summer, and then watch the leaves turn and be able to roll through Leelanau County or Old Mission Peninsula in these undulating hills and beautiful colors of the trees with the water in the backdrop. There's no other place like this in the world, and that's why we get so many people from all over.
Well, now that is what I call a whirlwind tour of golf, life, and food and fun in the Traverse City area. We've barely scratched the surface. But then again, that's kind of what we do, because we want you to come here and build your own experience. So make sure you go online to traversecity.com and put together the golf, the lodging, the dining, the cruising and all the other experiences that will help make this a very special getaway for you. Meanwhile, I'm in charge of this boat. My only assignment, do not hit dry land. So far, so good. We'll look forward to seeing you down the road when you come to Traverse City to tee it up. And come on out on the water and just soak in the beauty that is pure Michigan.